Welcome to the 5th week of class. We've reached the halfway mark of class, and I hope that you're meeting the personal goals that you've set for yourself. So this week, we're going to be looking at 3 different things. We're going to discuss the characteristics of today's learner. We're going to construct active learning activity for an online learner. And then you're going to be looking at aligning learning activities with academic accreditation standards. And you'll do this through your readings, through discussion questions, and then with assignment 2. So chapter 11 of your readings is going to be very interesting. It's going to be talking about a unified curriculum. Now, a unified curriculum starts with an associate degree and then works up to the doctoral level, and whether it be the research doctorate or the clinical doctorate, but there will be step-out opportunities at the various nursing degree levels. What I'd like you to be thinking about as you read this chapter is what are some of the pros and cons of a unified curriculum? How do you think your nursing program would fit into a unified curriculum? And then also the big question is, how will a unified curriculum fit within your state? So some of you may have maybe from smaller states, and you only have a couple of nursing programs, whether they be in colleges or universities or associate degree programs. But some of you who are in the larger states could have a lot more different institutions of education. So it could be a lot different for those of you in a larger state as opposed to a smaller state. But just think about that as you read this particular chapter. Then chapter 16 is going to focus on the faculty role as a scholar in relation to curriculum development and evaluation. Now, over the past few weeks, we've been talking about course evaluation, especially with your first assignment and now with your second assignment. But we're going to make a transition. We're going to transition from course evaluation to program evaluation. And you'll see that in some of your readings this week, but as we move forward, you'll see that even more. Then your discussion question is going to ask you to look at the characteristics of learners that you see in your classroom and discuss how you're going to develop learning activities to meet their individual needs, but also how are those activities going to align with your state board and your accrediting standards. Now, those of you who are not in nursing education may need to do a little extra research this week. You may want to look at the 3 accrediting bodies, and they are ACEN, CCNE, and CNEA. I'll repeat those. ACEN, CCNE, and CNEA. So take a look at those accrediting bodies, and if you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to either contact me or, better yet, post your questions online, and then others can help you to get a better understanding of how those work. Then you'll move to assignment 2. Assignment 2 is a 4 to 5 page APA formatted paper, same as last time, but this time you're going to design an active learning activity for a group of online learners. The other difference is that you're going to align your activity with the accreditation standards of one accrediting body. So the list of accrediting bodies is actually listed on the link for this particular assignment, but it's not inclusive. The ones that are listed on there are ACEN, CCNE, Magnet, HLC, DEAC, and then CNEA. So again, if you know of another one, you could use that, but these are the ones that are on the paper, or on the file, just to give you an idea. You want to, in this activity, you're going to include your learning outcomes for the activity. You're going to include an evaluation or an assessment method for each outcome, and you're going to include an expected level of achievement for each outcome. So therefore, you're going to have, if you have 3 outcomes, you're going to have 3 assessment methods, and you're going to have 3 ELAs, same as last week, but I just want everyone to be sure that you realize that that there's 3 of everything if you have 3 outcomes. Then you want to support your discussion with evidence-based practice resources, and of course follow the rubric for assignment 2 to be sure that you've met all the criteria in the rubric. So this is our plan for week 5. Let me know if you have any questions. I look forward to reading your post and also your papers, and have a great week.